Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Halloween special. This particular one, we're going to be doing another personal experience that I've had. So, again, this is just something that could be explained, but I like to always think a little more on the paranormal and creepy side, especially for Halloween and this time of year. So, in any case, this particular one, I'm going to be talking about a little experience that I had with an app, which will probably be part one. So basically, I was using, as everyone probably has at one point, Ghost Radar, and I mean it's something that it's fun to do because the fact of the matter is that it tells you where ghosts are. Ooh, so scary. But I never really put much stock into it. I didn't really ever think that anything could ever happen from it, but I kind of believe that if and when you talk about the things that perhaps are of the paranormal nature, they gain power that way, and so they can manifest themselves, I guess, in a sense. So it was back when I was in my other room, and it was much smaller than the room I'm in now. And basically, it was around the time I didn't have a job. I wasn't really doing much with my life at the time. But I did stay up late every single night, 3:30, I was still up, 4:35, just on and on and on. Anyway, so I started to use this app just for the fun of it. And I started to notice that about 2:33, that 3 dots would appear right underneath my window every single night. So, you just always do the usual stuff. You ask them the questions that you see in the TV shows to see if it actually works. And first couple of nights, as soon as I asked, they would just disappear. Then, after the following night after that, I asked them a question, and it responded with a name. So I was like, oh, okay. So I asked it a few more questions, and sure enough, they didn't respond. And the night went on, and I went to sleep, or whatever I did. Probably played some games. So then the following night, at the same time comes rolling around, I see these 2 dots. So then I ask it a couple more questions, like, well, how old were you when you died? And it gave me another response that was intelligent to the question. So I was just like, oh, this is getting kind of creepy. So I asked a couple more questions, and again, no response. Then the following night, I asked her, or it, or whatever it was. And the reason why I know it was a her, because I asked for her name, and it was a female name. And I asked what the other 2 dots, or if there was anyone with her. And she said that she had her children with her. And so I was like, oh, well, how many kids do you have? And she responded with 2. So then I asked her, how did she die? And it replied with hung. I was like, oh, wow, who hung you? And then I responded with husband. And so, at this point, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, wow, this is really intelligently answered questions. And generally, I don't want to believe in these apps. Generally, they're false. Generally, they're just, for fun. But then it started to answer pretty intelligently. So I was like, oh, where did you die? And it actually says just like right in the gully that's right next to my house. So I asked who hung her, and it responded with husband again. So then I asked her who killed the children, and it responded with husband. So after that, the dots left, and I went to sleep, just kind of thinking about it. So then the next night, I asked it its name again, and it responded with the same name. So I wrote it down, and I went online after the following day after, that little session, and looked, and I found the obituary. Apparently, this woman was trying to get away from her husband, and he caught up to her and her kids and hung him right next to my house. And which was funny, the reason why I even looked it up in the first place, because I was talking to someone about it, and they didn't really want to believe it. They didn't really get into it. They didn't, kind of understand. I don't know. Neither did I. I didn't really understand, but at this point, it answered intelligently. It answered with clarity and with something that was actually local. So I was kind of, taken back a little bit. So, after that, we found the obituary, and I could probably even find where the tree was that I was talking about, that they were probably hung from. So again, in closing, I don't really know what to say, because generally, like I said, these radar apps or ghost apps are generally pretty bogus. But maybe for a split moment, one of them, a ghost or a spirit, whatever you want to call it, actually was manipulating the app or my phone. Because, in a sense, if it was fake, then how could it choose anything local? Or someone who died back in 1930s or 40s. So, I don't know. It was something that I'd never experienced before or expected from an app. So maybe in closing, the only thing that I can say is maybe the apps don't work, but maybe sometimes they also do.